Hey everybody, Chef Jana here, welcome back. We are going to make kimchi today. We're going to make my recipe of fail-proof kimchi. I have been making this recipe for a long time because the first time I've had that it was in Japan a few years ago, and I'm like, what is that? I loved it. And then for a long time I couldn't taste it anymore, and now it's trending. Asian food, especially Korean food, now it's like at its peak. So as a consequence, the ingredients are relatively easy to find. I'll link in the description below. If you can't find the peppers and stuff, I'll link it below. Don't worry if you can find it in a city like me. I had to order online. But apart from that, all the ingredients are very much available, and I love the fact that now it's the beginning of the winter, so we still have those beautiful cabbages, napa cabbages, and yeah. So follow me on this adventure. We're gonna make it, and I'm gonna show you all the steps and everything. And I promise you, it is the easiest and yet the tastiest of the kimchis ever. Follow me, I'll show you. So before start making your food, it's nice to clean and disinfect your sink. And here I have a perfectly beautiful organic napa cabbage, which I'm going to slit 1/3 of the way. Careful with your thumb, careful. And then I'm going to split open like that. I prefer to split it open instead of cutting because then you have those ridges, and I think it's really pretty. And then you do that one more time until you have 4 equal parts. Upon opening it, I saw that there were those brown spots, but it's because I bought organic, and I don't know, I think that there were only a few there. Maybe they're not so fresh, but it doesn't really matter. And what I did is I trimmed those brown edges, and then it was all okay. Now you wash it thoroughly between the leaves to get rid of the dirt, sand, or any debris. And now it's a very important part of the process of making kimchi. We need to salt all the leaves, and it's better if the cabbage is moist so it retains a little bit more of the salt. You gotta be really patient because you're gonna salt it in between the leaves, and you do that process all over until you have all the leaves covered with salt. Don't worry, you're not gonna get all that salt in the kimchi later. We're gonna rinse it, but it's very important because the salt, it draws water from the vegetables, and the cabbage, the napa cabbage, is 90% water, so this is a very important process. Then cover with a clean cloth. We're gonna let it resting for 2 hours, flipping over in every 15 minutes. Now we're gonna make the porridge. It's going to be water, cornstarch, and sugar. And then whisk it until it gets really smooth in low heat, just like that. We need that to be a little bit consistent, and at the end I will explain to you guys why. Here I'm grating half a pear. If you have Asian pear, even better, but I couldn't get my hands on one, so this one will be perfect. It'll add a little bit of acid and a little bit of sugar that we need to make the kimchi. Flipping time. We're going to flip the cabbage. See, it already shrunk in size by a lot. The important part here is that we need all the surface of the cabbage to be in touch with the salty water. Now we're going to make the kimchi mixture. What I like to do is to cut the vegetables matchstick size as thinly as possible, but not paper thin because I like to feel the crunchiness. I am using radish, a daikon radish. I couldn't find the Korean one, but that's okay because they're similar in taste and texture. Spring onion, trim it as little or as big as you want, and a leek. I love that oniony yet sweet taste that the leek has. Now we're going to whisk onions, garlic, and ginger and make it a very smooth paste. It's important that you blend it very, very well so you don't chew on chunks of garlic or onion. You might have to open and then scrape the sides and then do it again, but it's worth the trouble because it has to be really smooth, just like that. Let's test the cabbage. We flip, and if it snaps, just like it did, then it's not ready yet. It needs to bend, not snap. So back to the salty bath. See all those pretty, beautiful vegetables there? Oh my God, they're so raw, so nutritious. I cannot begin to tell you how wonderful kimchi is for your health, for your immune system because of the probiotics, for your digestion, for everything, your skin, your nails, your hair. It's the perfect food. Now I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. If you have vegan fish sauce or vegan oyster sauce, better, but I didn't have it. And this is vegetarian stir-fry sauce. I like it because it gives a little bit of a depth. Now we're going to add gochugaru, which is Korean red pepper flakes, 3 tablespoons. You can add more if you like or less if you like. I find 3 tablespoons for this recipe just perfect because remember, we're using only 1 head of napa cabbage. Following, I'm going to add 1 spoon of gochujang, which is Korean red pepper paste. It's a little bit more mild than the Korean red pepper flakes. It's nice because it adds a little bit of a shine to the kimchi. I always like to do that. But if you don't have it, don't bother. The flakes are enough. 1 more spoon of soy sauce because I just tasted and it felt like it needed a little bit more of salt. Flipping time again. Now let's check. See, it's wilting a lot, and that's exactly what it should be happening at this point. They have been soaking in water for approximately 1 hour and a half. And that was a lot of water, and that's exactly what we need. Now we're going to snap again the leaf to check. See, that's the broken leaf. I have been doing that a lot, checking all the time. Let's bend. It snapped, so not ready yet. I like to cut the chives a little bit bigger because I like the visual. I like to see the bigger ones. You can use actually Chinese chives. They're even better. They're a little bit bitter. When you add it to the kimchi mixture, careful not to stir too much because they can be bruised. They're very delicate, so that should be enough. Isn't that so pretty? Now snapping time again. See? This time it's bending and it's not snapping. That means that the cabbage is really ready. As you can see now, I have some helping hands from my lovely hubby. He's rinsing the leaves thoroughly to remove all the excess salt and water from the kimchi. And once it's ready, you just squeeze the excess water because remember, the cabbage is going to be in touch with a lot of salt and it's still going to draw some water. Now the funnest part of all. I love doing that, guys. If you want to wear gloves, by all means. I just love to do like that without gloves. But if you have minor cuts, I advise you to wear gloves because it really stings. Do you see what's happening now? Do you remember the porridge that we made? It makes everything stay in place. If we were making that without using the porridge, all the mixture was going to be going all over the place and they will not stay put like it is now. And that is the most important thing. It stays put. Repeat the process until all the leaves are covered. And don't forget to do it like the Koreans. While you're doing that, keep sending some love and positive thoughts to the food because your family is going to be eating that for a long time. And while they're eating that, they're having all that love and positivity that you send to them through your food. Isn't that amazing? As I said to you guys before, try to take all the mixture into the cabbage, not to waste it because the mixture is gold. And then in case you guys are asking yourselves how long the kimchi will last in the fridge, the answer is years and years. You have pretty expensive kimchis that worth $60–70 per gram. It's really crazy. Place them all, like I said, in an airtight container, close it, and it should be fermenting for at least 24 hours. The longer you leave it fermenting, the more sour it's going to taste. Mine for sure is going to stay there for 72 hours. Covered, and I see you later. Bye! Alright, 24 hours have passed and look at this pretty thing. I'm doing the fermentation test. See those bubbles coming up? That means that the process of fermentation is happening as predicted and expected. You should see those bubbles there. Now I'm gonna cover it and let it fermenting for 72 hours more. See you! And here we are back with the kimchi. I'm going to open this now. It has been, I changed the containers because it wilted a lot. It's still wilting. Oh my God, it smells so good. Oh dear Lord. But what I was saying is that the smell distracted me. You see when you make it yours, it's really particular. It's like, woof. But what happened was I changed the recipient because it was too big. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you again. And I'm going to show you how I store it. And some people like to keep it whole. I like to cut it in the bite-sized pieces because then I can put in the mason jars. And it's nice. Then you can stock it in the fridge and there you go. So the first one, we're going to cut into bite sizes like that. Can you hear that? It's really crunchy. Once you put it in the fridge, it will stop fermenting, so the flavors are gonna be what you get here. It's pretty much what you're gonna get through the months. Here we have our fail-proof kimchi. How fantastic was that? You're gonna have to promise me that you're gonna try this. I made it very easy just for you, so you have to try. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, pass this video along. If you like it, follow me on social media, you know, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I see you next time. Have a wonderful week. Bye.